All right, welcome back. We're live. You can catch us on Facebook, live, YouTube, or Twitch. Tonight we're going to talk to you about the GOP and their censoring of Lindsey Graham for his uh, alignment with the Uvalde bill. We're also going to talk to you about Red Rig triggers. Do you own one? If you do, stay tuned to what we have to tell you about that. And then also we'll talk about the Senate elections of 2022. All right?
Yeah, and I didn't even have my.
This Dude, I had a fucking bullseye on that. I didn't say no
Man,
word.
you were sounding good, brother. You
I
were
had a
sounding good.
bullseye on that one, man.
They changed the layout, man, and I didn't realize they changed the layout to now, and I'm looking for my stuff, man, and I'm like, oh my god, you know, and oh, here we go. All There we go.
All right, we're back. That was quick.
We're back.
That time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's actually playing pretty smooth.
Mm-hmm.
So we on the
This,
what? We're
no,
gonna.
not you, this motherfucker.
Oh.
This damn phone motherfucker.
Oh, okay. We want to thanks tonight's sponsor is Saber Team Tactical, and they are the one who's sponsoring the show tonight. And just go to this page, saberteamtactical.com, and then go to classes. We got 3 classes left plus the private class. Al.
Yep, private class is our main event. A lot of folks take advantage of that. We have 4-hour trainings, and we're also breaking it down to 2-hour trainings. Found out that a lot of people thought that the 4 hours is a little bit more than they can handle. So we do 2-hour classes at $100, and that's a bargain. You get the range fee as well as your instruction and information during that time. Our next class coming up is the semi-automatic rifle class. That's going to get you ready for all the coup d'etat. The last two classes are your medical class as well as your gear and tactics class, and those two will test anything that you have bought so far. If you think you want to put your stuff through the test and see if it's worthwhile keeping, show up.
And those classes are deliberately in the after the summertime, so you guys can really express yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to worry about you guys passing out from heat exhaustion. All right, and just click on the tab at the top left, online store. There you got Saber Team Tactical swag, got medical supplies. Also, too, I make items like let me go ahead and kill this screen. Laser engravings. Let's see if you can see it. Oh no, we can't see it. There it is. Boom, upside down. Laser engraving plaques and stuff. So that smells good. And to be for wood. So like I said, tonight's show is broadcasted on Twitch, Saberteam19, YouTube, 2 Alphas Talk, Facebook, Saberteam Tactical LLC. And the phone number is 404-692-0561. And it's a call-in show. So if you want to call in, ask questions, talk to us, you can also chat to us. And go from there. Yep, there he is. We got our first chat screen going on. Thumbs up to you, man.
Oh man, he's a loyalist.
Yeah, loyal. Yep. So, no, a lot of you guys have you guys been paying attention to what's going on with these? We're also on Instagram too. We're only going to be on Instagram for the first half of the show, and we'll shut it down. So, you guys on Instagram, please come over to YouTube, the 2 Alphas Talk.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing, if you guys haven't been paying attention, I know we've been beaten to death, gun control. We haven't really talked about a lot of tactics and things of that nature. Because the gun control is a serious issue, and if it passes and goes the way we hope it don't go, people's lives will be changed forever.
Mm-hmm.
But we got and a lot of you guys were saying, well, it will die in the committee with the with the GOP, and I don't think that's necessarily true. And this is why. Um, they just censored Lindsey Graham last week for the Uvalde gun reform bill.
Uvalde.
Uvalde, yeah, Uvalde,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
uh, and that's the gun control. That bill is that's the HR 1808 bill, and so you got GOP members supporting um, the gun control legislation that's coming up. So you guys got to think about it. If this bill goes to the Senate right now, it will pass with flying colors, and you will probably have majority of GOP senators, at least 10 of them, voting for it. And if you don't, it'll go 50-50, and you got Kamala Harris will be the tie vote, will vote to pass it. And everybody's lives will be changed. All you guys posting these high speed videos on Instagram, shooting tactical USPSA and IPSC, all you guys out there who are not saying anything about gun control, that lifestyle you have right there will be gone. Because I see a bunch of you guys out there doing it, and you guys are not even talking about it, and it's a shame. It really is a shame.
Hmm.
Um,
A lot of times the guys would tell me when I reached out to them on private message, they'll say, talking about it is not doing anything. You're not going to make a change. But there's a lot of people out there that don't have a clue. And
mm-hmm.
if you talk about it and you have a larger platform than we do, you're talking about it and you're bringing it into their realm so that they can understand it and that they can maybe potentially get involved. Another phone call to a senator may make a change,
Mm-hmm.
especially folks that are in the middle. And you mentioned a little while ago that we've been hitting and harping on gun control and we haven't gotten into the tactics and things like that. If this bill passed, there is no need to talk about tactics and
Tactics,
how you
right,
carry and whether you train or not or what ammunition is better and blah 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 blah
right,
blah. All that stuff
yeah,
goes by the wayside.
right, yeah.
That
You
then
won't be
you start
getting,
hearing drop a dime. Like in the old days, people say drop a dime. I mean, give me a call, and now it's 24 cents. Now you can't even find the damn payphone.
yeah,
So
yeah,
times go by, and just a simple analogy of a payphone, use that. Think of it. There's a lot of guys that are listening. I'm seeing guys, people who are chiming in, and those guys lived during a time where we all carried chains, so you can use the payphone in
mm-hmm,
the 80s and the 90s. And
yep,
now you go out and look for a payphone, and you'd be hard pressed to find one.
right. You won't find one.
No, you won't.
Yeah, and remember, I used to be in bad neighborhoods, and you get a page.
Mm-hmm.
So then you had to go to a local restaurant and use the phone because you didn't want to get caught out in the street
Right.
using the payphone because you know you're just gonna get jacked. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so yeah, you guys who have these local shooting clubs, shooting teams, or you shoot competition, and you're refusing to talk about this is 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 you're not doing your viewers or the people that's watching you any service because you are really supporting the Second Amendment, but you're not trying to defend it, and that's where the problem comes. You have to try to start defending the Second Amendment,
Mm-hmm.
and we're at this point now where it's at a point of no return. Your livelihood is about to end here in 2022. And a lot of people don't realize how scary that is right now.
You
And
imagine what would a sponsored shooter do if there's a total gun control? What's the next thing for him? Nobody wants to see him. Hell, it's illegal for you to even
post
possess a
pictures.
firearm.
Yeah.
Now what? Now what you gonna do?
And now you posting all these pictures and stuff of everything you're doing, and you think you're going to get around this because you think there's a grandfather's clause in this. There's no grandfather's clause. So all those pictures and stuff you guys been posting, guess what's going to happen? Instagram's going to take your information, turn it over to the ATF because you guys all now going to be felons.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna come after you, come knocking on your door and say, "Hey, where's that gun that we seen you have all these thousands of pictures of?" Which they probably already got your pictures anyway. So, because they're getting ready, they're gearing up right now,
Right.
you know, and they're preparing. They're getting ATF and the FBI and the IRS. Those are the guys who are going to come in and eventually confiscate your stuff.
Yep.
Uh, so, um, you guys need to just pay attention to what's going on and quit acting like this is not happening. Living in the twilight zone, because we want to share with something else that the ATF is doing, and it's really bad. Um, so the ATF, if you guys know about the rare breed uh, triggers, and they're saying that the rare breed triggers are will turn your firearm into a AR into an automatic rifle. So now they classify the rare breed triggers as automatic part, and you're not supposed to possess it. Now, a lot of these people who bought these rare breed triggers maybe a year ago or so, somehow or another, the ATF knows that they have a non-serial number item, and they're going to their house and confiscating that item. And now you can ask yourself, well, how are they knowing where these people are? Well, the people who have sold them are turning them in.
Mm-hmm.
They're turning in everybody who bought one of those triggers. Now the ATF, what they're doing, they come in their house. They have no justification of coming to your house. They don't come with a search warrant. They come to your house and ask for the trigger itself, and they want you to give them the trigger only. And if you don't give it to them, they're going to pressure you with arrests. And when they come back, they're going to come back with a search warrant and seize the trigger, probably seize a lot more, and charge you with a felony for possessing the machine gun part, even though that the part really hasn't been classified as a machine gun part. So only thing I can say to you guys and what they're telling everybody else to do is get a lawyer now.
Mm-hmm.
If you bought that trigger, you can't say you threw it in the lake. It got lost in the boating accident. They know you have it. If you sold it, you're gonna have to provide who you sold it to. You're gonna end up going to jail. Now, yeah, maybe the charges will be false. You can fight them down the road, but it's gonna cost you a lot of money. And this was a secret document that was released by a ATF whistleblower saying what the ATF is actually doing and how they're coming out to get your stuff. And this is just the first wave. See, the ATF already know this bill H 1808, if it goes through, it will pass. So now they're acting on the little stuff first because they want to get rid of all the automatic uh, firearm parts. Even if it does, I don't know. I'm not even familiar with this trigger too much. Um, so, but this is the test run for them to see if people are going to comply.
Right.
And so far, people are complying.
Yeah, well, you got to think about it. The person that's giving the information up has a livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? So
Mm-hmm.
why would he not give him up? He wants to stay in business, and I'm sure um, the federal agents have given him a nice way of saying things like, it won't hurt you, or if you don't comply, what could happen to him? So now it's one of those. If I don't comply, what happens to me? What happens to my family? What happens to my livelihood? What happens to my way of making money? So it's almost like the somebody's given the opportunity to bail out early and take less repercussions, or hang in there, don't tell, quote unquote, don't snitch, and go down with the rest of them.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
it's really there's no different than with the good guy bad guy cop, where you got two suspects in two different rooms, and when you come back on one guy and you say, yeah man, Bill just told me what happened, and you're the one that did it. And he knows damn well he didn't do it. And he feels that Bill is snitching on him and giving him up. And he's like, no, Bill's the one. He picked me up in the car. The car was black, sedan, yada, 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 and starts giving up all the information. And now they go, gotcha. And that's what's happening with this. You got a guy that has a FFL. He's trying to keep his license, and he's looking at this paperwork, and they're sweating him about it. And he's like, well, what are you guys going to do about it? Oh, well, we just want to talk to them. We just want to see what they're going to do, make sure that they understand the levity of what they have. And, oh, okay, that's all. And then all of a sudden there was a floodgate of information going out.
Yeah, and it's a lot more behind that, because the ATF is actually putting pressure on gun shops. And if they mess up 4473s, they're shutting them down.
Right, one mistake.
One mistake, and they have shut down a lot of gun shops, mom and pops.
But you know what? And this may not be popular, but what about all those gun shops where they know it's been documented over and over again that the firearms sold in one state are being found in another state, and these violators have been slapped on the wrist and allowed to continue to work, which just made
they don't go after the violators; they go after the store.
That's what I'm talking about. The store. There's store. I can name stores if you know. We talked about this. You don't want to name names, but I got names.
Yeah, we got one right here in our own state that went through
exactly. That you find the guns in D.C., you find the guns in New York, you find the guns in New Jersey, and then you got a mayor of New York wanting the National Guard to come help because all the guns are coming from Georgia, all the guns are coming from South Carolina. Stop crying.
Omar.
Hey, all right. Press 1. Hold on, we got a caller in. Consider those who post videos of themselves on YouTube. 1.
To send a voicemail, press 2.
That's from one of the chats.
Yep, I wanted to touch on that because that's a good point. Not only considering the people who post on social media and who are active shooters and participants in gun games, but think about Hollywood. There's not one action movie where you see a guy without a firearm. They don't use bow and
They're making money off of it.
Spears.
Right.
They use guns, and they have all the latest technology and firearms. You got a guy like Keanu Reeves, who's a great guy. He's a Second Amendment.
But he supports the Second Amendment. But that guy, Liam Nielsen, whatever his name is,
Liam Nielsen,
he's anti-gun completely,
and he's not even an American.
Right.
But the thing about back to Keanu, even though he's a Second Amendment, but all his movies. He's got all the latest technology, all the latest, G5, G this, generation that. He's using it.
Right.
They make money off it, and not necessarily him, because I know he's not in charge, but the directors and the producers who are always, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here just in case, but they're always liberals. They always have bodyguards and protectors because they're worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they know they're worth a lot of money. So they have protectors and people who are willing to do violence for them.
All right. We got a caller. Omar, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, all right, go ahead, man.
No, I was hearing talking about the mom and pop shops getting shut down.
Yeah.
And how the ATF, like they recently audited our store. And Alec brought up those stores that, which I'm not going to say any names, but there are some stores that they continuously, and I mean continuously, sell firearms and have not been shut down, but the vast majority of the firearms they sell end up in other states.
Yes.
And then sometimes the country that's north of us. And it's interesting that, we were scrambling in my store to make sure we had everything together, because they were like, oh no, if you got any mistakes at all, we're gonna take this, we're gonna take your license and all that. And it's just like, whoa. But then this place that's still in our area code is allowed to just
right down the street
doing. And I mean, I'm in a grand fashion, so it's very interesting. And they are going after certain places, and they're using tactics that a lot of people, I think, aren't prepared to have the government use. and they're using them.
Well,
So
I don't know
very
if that everybody talk a big game until it's time to play the game, because all these people guarantee you these stores. They got the "Don't Tread on Me" flags all over the place. They got the American flag and all this stuff. And they're probably sitting around there drinking beer and after work and talking about what they're going to do back in the yesteryears about what they're going to do if the government infringes on them. Now the government's infringing on them. And guess what they're doing? They're folding.
Right.
So you're seeing people who are so-called Second Amendment supporters, but not galvanizing the people around them to get a group together, because you're more stronger as a group than you are as an individual. They're not rallying their customers or store owners together and saying, hey, their ATF is coming after me, I need your support. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing that. They're not reaching out to anybody to do that stuff. So when the ATF comes in and step on them, they just immediately say, I'm going to comply. And so, I mean, it's just like he said, the ATF is using Nazi tactics. It's like, we now know how the Nazis was able to do what they was able to do.
The
Because
Nazis as in the entire government.
Yeah, an entire government. And the Nazis were entire government. And so how the Nazis influence people with propaganda, then the next thing you know, then we all say, well, how did the German people go along with this? Well, you see them doing it now. They're going along. Even people who are Second Amendment supporters are sitting here going along with this and saying, nah, this is not going to happen. And they see it happening right in front of their face. And when it happens and affects them, it's going to be too late. It's going to be, well, I should have listened to you guys. You guys was right. It's like, I don't understand it,
Right.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of those people that are at least the ones that own the actual shops and not just their employees. They're in it purely for how much money they can make out of or
That's right.
Like which goes on said earlier, that they are willing to sell everybody else out because that's how they make money. They're like, I mean, not to say it's the same thing, but at the same time, it's that similar spirit. They're willing to take those risks, like some of these street dudes, and that's just anybody. Like some of these street dudes are willing to make that quick money. And now when things start to get into a place where those of us that are a part of the community that want to keep the Second Amendment the way it is are going to inherit this whirlwind of bullshit, when the people that really had the stores that say that they're supporting it are really just in it for the quick buck.
Right. And see, what I don't understand about them being in for the quick buck, because with this HR 1808 will eliminate their store if it passes. So they're not making any sense. They should be fighting.
And there's no buyback for the value of the store. You just
No,
have to shut it down.
They will lose everything in the store. Everything in their store will get confiscated. Yeah,
it'll become contraband.
So they can keep some mag pouches or something like that, but most of the anything to do with a firearm is gone, and so they'll go bankrupt. And so I don't understand why they're really not fighting back, because in the end they're going to be destroyed too. So yeah, it's
just like you said, like that was what went on with the people in Germany. It's like, all right, the Nazis are going after the Catholics at first, and then some of the other groups that were in Germany, and then they're gonna start going after the Jews, and everybody was like, maybe we should, I don't know, it can happen now, and then they came after them, and then some of the people that thought maybe they were out of the the scope, so to speak, of the Nazis ended up finding out that they were under the sights as well. Like even some of the ones that were Protestants or believed the same things as them, they became on the chopping block.
Right.
In the long run, because it was like it weren't about helping out Germany or anything like that or trying to save the people. They were about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So like it is very interesting, the parallels. I hope that all it is just the parallels that we see and that it doesn't. But much like you said again, it's like all it would take is them to throw that into the house or
Now,
throw it on the floor.
it already passed the House. Only thing it takes for them to throw it into the Senate before November. If they throw it into the Senate before November, now they're at recess right now until September. So between September and November, hopefully they don't have an emergency session. And if they have, hey Mike, how you doing? If they have, if they don't have an emergency session between September and November before the general election, and we're in the good, because I have a surprise. We're going to talk about the second half of the show on what's going on in that part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so
just to hit before we get to move on, what the caller Omar is saying is very real, because the quote is an old one, and it's a guy named Martin Niemöller, and he says, first they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me.
That's
and
right.
That's what's happening now.
Right.
These guys out here, everybody from actors to social media, whatever you want to call it, those guys, influencers, they're all out there. They're all making money by showcasing firearms.
Mm-hmm.
But yet there's no one on the ground. The two of us doing this on a weekly basis, because this is what it's our passion. It's what we really enjoy doing. Really, like, even if we weren't on this video setup, we'd be talking about this on the telephone. And
right.
That's where, our impetus, this is where we started from, arguing on Instagram and social media with weirdos, and then calling each other and say, did you see that fool? And then whatever, we have a conversation. But we started in, hey, you make sure you call so-and-so. Let's go to this meeting. Let's go to this rally. Those type things. The ground roots. We're not leading. Somebody asked me, well, what are you doing about it? I show up.
Right.
You're right. I don't have a platform where I can lead thousands of people. Now, maybe not yet. But at the same time, I show up.
You don't have to. I mean, it's just, you guys meet people every day. You talk to people every day. Get on them talking about, the only thing you got to do is ask them, do you own a gun? And if they say yes, they say, hey, have you been paying attention to what's going on with HR 1808? And just lay down some stuff on them, and it wakes them up. And it doesn't matter if they're we appreciate you too, man. It doesn't make a difference if they're Democrat or Republican or the independent. When you're talking about taking away somebody's freedom and livelihood, it's gonna make them think.
Right.
So that's all you got to do is just share. Just share that information with them. Talk to them.
And even if it ends with that person saying, well, I don't think this, that's cool. You expressed yourself. And I'm telling you, it seeps in. I've had people come back and retract their feelings because they thought about it a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't beat them over the head. I just gave them enough information, especially those people in the middle. Don't own a firearm, but don't care if the neighbor does. Those are the ones that we're looking for, not the person. The two of us and people who tune in, we're all 100% rally behind it. Let's go. We want to keep them. But there's those people on the fence. That's who you have to sway.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily that they go out and buy a firearm, but just that they just, what? If my neighbor has one, that makes me feel better, because I know that guy. He's a solid guy, and I trust what he does with firearms.
Right.
That's all. That's all we're looking for.
And then with that, we're going to be at the bottom of the hour. We're going to go ahead and play a commercial break. Also, too, everybody on Instagram, please come on over to YouTube, Two Alphas Talk.
Twitch.
And now, just come on over to YouTube, on you guys on IG, because we're going to shut IG down.
Yeah, and we know you got YouTube, because if you're on Instagram, you got YouTube. And they go hand in hand.
Right. So, and with that, we're going to go ahead and do our little commercial break here. Get everything to work right. and you can never get it to work right. Look at
I
that.
often get the question, why train with Saber Team? And one of the things at Saber Team, we teach you from the basics on up. We do beginning classes where we get the fundamentals in play. We get sight alignment, sight mark, all your marksmanship principles in. We move forward from there, and we do advanced and intermediate training where we actually start teaching how to fight with a gun. That's the difference between shooting a gun and fighting with a gun. When you're fighting with a gun, you're trying to make hits. When you're shooting a gun, you're looking for bullseyes. We teach you how to move, get off the X, not move in a parallel motion, not be a robot.
When you get your grip, you're riding that down.
Oh.
So what I'm going to do for you is what I do when I have guns like that.
Okay.
Put your thumb right there.
Gotcha.
And it's going to take some work and effort for you to get it there. When you dry fire at home, get that thumb on the outside. Go, 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 go. There you go. Get it. Good.
So if you decide that you want to carry a gun, you just bought a new gun and you're ready to go, you need to come out and train. Whether it's with a Saber Team or somebody else that's vested and vetted and has the knowledge and information that you need. And how do you find that? You reach out to them, you speak to them, you ask them serious questions about what they've done to get to a level of proficiency that will be able to transmit or transfer to you. At Saber Team, we've taken classes from everybody with big names, all the big names, you name it, and we've probably been to one of those training courses to learn how to fight with a gun. And then we then turn around and teach our students the same thing. So we implore everyone to come out and shoot with Saber Team because we are learning every day. We are the lifestyle of firearms and the Second Amendment, as well as self-defense. That's the key. You just can't shoot everybody. And we teach you who to shoot and how to shoot them.
All right, we're back. And let me get back into one of the chats. I saw something back in one of the chats there. Let's see. I agree with the caller. However, I also see the Democrat machine modeled themselves after the CCP. Yes, they are. And that's with the invention of what? Social media, especially TikTok. TikTok is ran by the CCP. Complete totalitarian with no regards for our Constitution. They want our, and China has expressed years ago they wanted us to get rid of the Second Amendment. The reason why? They want to invade. Right. They want to take the country over. And so what China's doing is buying land in the United States. They're also buying our senators. They're endorsing them. So yeah, and when you do that, grease their pockets, then you got leverage over them. We got one, and I don't even want to go down that road, but we also got one that's really being coached. You know, and yeah, Mike, we really know what we're doing. It takes a lot, but that's why we want to get you guys to watch the show here because you can really see what's really going on. But I'm glad you brought up the Democrats because I want to share something with you guys that you guys probably don't know. Basically, the Democrat, our House is probably going to be flipped to where it's going to become red. And right now, the critical part is to flip the Senate. You had something, Omar?
No, I just said yay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you guys haven't paid attention. Look at this right here. In the United States, November 8th, we will have 34 seats out of 100 that are up for grabs in the Senate.
Right.
If we can change that Senate and we can change that House, that means HR 1808 will not pass. If it goes to the floor, it will be killed on the vote and sent back. And so, but we have to get a lot more red senators, and that's what I'm saying. And when I say vote gun, I mean vote Republican, not Democrat. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care how you feel about Republicans and thinking they're racist and all this other stuff. Right now, you're voting for your freedom and survival.
Right.
So
because what you just said makes so much sense, and that's one of the ones I had to flip on somebody one day. They're talking about the Republicans are racist, and okay, well, if you don't have a firearm, how do you defend yourself against a racist attack?
mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of
Come on
slow
now.
down. And think about it. So if you think the Democrats are going to stand behind you and wait for you to help you,
Right,
that ain't happening.
right. So the Democrats are the ones who planning on taking your rights away, taking your freedom, and actually the Nazis. And so, but they're telling everybody else they're Nazis and racists and all that stuff. So,
Right. You know,
But-
that's that deflection.
we have a chance.
Nazis,
Go ahead.
some is leftist.
Yeah, they're leftists.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm X even said it. You know, the most dangerous person is a liberal, is a white liberal,
Yeah.
and so those are the ones who wants to take away everything you got.
Yep.
So, but also you guys here in the state of Georgia, we have a Senate race coming up. Vote for gun. Do not vote because of color. Do not vote because you're a Democrat. If you own a firearm, you need to vote gun. So that means
There's only one race. There's only one Senate race.
it's only one Senate race, right?
Yeah, you said color. They're both black.
They're both. Yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that. I forgot about that. We got black Republicans now. Yeah, yeah. So, so this pay attention to your local races and look at what's going on in your local senator, who your local senators are. Here you go again.
I agree with him though.
Yeah, yeah.
And see what he said.
Yeah,
He did. I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
hopefully Herschel's
it is what
he's a
it is.
dumbass, yeah, but he will vote pro gun.
Hope he votes
We're gonna put that on the
pro-gun,
air
or
here.
just
Yeah,
leave
yeah.
guns alone.
There it is
Just
right
leave it
there.
alone.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so, but and that's all it matters at this point. We don't
'Cause you
want
can't trust none of them. Let's put it out there like that.
Right.
So everybody understand. We are gun folks. We're pro gun. It's not red or blue. We just
Right.
are about guns, right? So with that being said, you have to go to the least a lesser of two evils. I think
Right.
it was Samurai told me the full saying last time. We go into the lesser of two evils, right? The lesser of two evils. And if you don't think the man is smart enough to run a position, but he's not going to hurt guns, I'll deal with that.
right.
We
And
all, I
Agreed.
think everybody who's on this, the three of us, as well as the folks that are watching, everybody makes their own money. So
Right.
we're not worried about the government being there to pay our bills, right?
Right.
Exactly. Fingers crossed. So in that aspect, like my man Trump said, why not take a chance with him?
Yeah. We got nothing to
All
lose.
Right. You got nothing to lose.
We got
You
nothing to lose here.
Because if not,
Yeah.
then we want to at
Yeah.
least maybe if 1808 is passed and we get a sanctuary state out of Georgia. See what I'm
Right.
saying? I've always looked at what happens if they are stronger than me. If
Right.
I'm in a fight and somebody's got hit, and I misjudged him. I gave him much respect, but at the same time, I just knew I was gonna kick his ass. Then all of a sudden, I realized he's got his grips around my neck. What's next? What do you do now?
Right.
Do you bite him? You got to do something? I got to change the course of what's going on right now. So you have to look at it in the same aspect. What happens in the future if 1808 is passed? What do we do next? We have a senator or senators that are in place that and the government, along with the governor, make us a sanctuary state. Now we have protection at least for 4 years or whatever time it takes them to galvanize to get this thing together.
Right. So now Kemp has not said anything about a sanctuary state. I know it's a couple other states have done, but we got to push him to do it because he's up for re-election. It's the best time to do it right now. So while these guys are at recess, what they're going to be doing are your senators. We got a Republican Senate and House here in the state of Georgia. So what you have to do is go to all those town halls if they have them. If they have virtual town halls, go to those town halls. Ask those senators, hey, are you guys going to push for a sanctuary Second Amendment state? Ask them. especially if the ones who are up for reelection. Just tell them, hey, I'll support you if you do this. You know what I'm saying? And to say, and put that message out to them that, hey, Kemp, this is what we want to do for you. And we'll vote you back in, but you got to give us a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then he's talking about giving out checks and buying his vote for the next election. And so, but if he's going to give out checks, hey, maybe he can give a sanctuary estate. So, doesn't hurt to ask.
Prefer. You can keep your check. Just give me keep our guns involved.
Everybody in the state, just send him a letter. Just send him an email. That's all you got to do. Call him and ask him. And that's one of the things I'm getting ready to start doing, is start asking these guys, hey, we need a sanctuary state here, because we don't, if all else fails, we're going to be done.
Yep.
And so, but
you'll be lining up like they did in Australia.
Yeah. You're going to be lining up, and or it's going to go down a different way. Right. Just remember, people, the old saying, he who has the guns makes the rules. Vote pro-gun to save your freedom.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the thing is, as this quote is, as we read this, he who has the guns makes the rules. They got bigger guns, and I'm sure they're going to have a lot of shrills that'll follow the head in front of them.
Oh, they already did.
Willing, and you saw that video that's spreading around Instagram. I don't know if it's real.
Oh, the IRS. It's actually real. It's real. It's real. That program was put in during Bush's era. He put that program in. So
that video, I'm hoping that they
that video was a
better tactics, because I like them all to line up like that.
Let me explain the video. The video was they were recruiting high school students into the IRS. That's what that was a recruiting class, and it was trying to get them to recruit in to say, this is a part of your task, this is a part of your job, to see if this is something they wanted to do.
Okay, so that once every 6 months that you can actually put on a vest and kick in the door, and then the other 5 months you're sitting at a desk with mounds of paperwork, right?
But see, you got to look at, though, this would be the perfect scenario for them to use 87 IRS agents to go
those
in.
Guys, let's be fair, those guys won't be in place until 2027.
But let me explain the logic behind it.
Go ahead.
The logic behind it, they'll be cannon fodder. And so now, if something does go down and an overwhelming number of them get wiped out, then they can go into a state of emergency and now enact the active duty military to come in and enforce those rules.
Did you see the video?
I've seen the video. Okay. They're already.
There's no way they will not be wiped out. Did you see?
I understand that. Okay. I'm just saying the logic behind it, because these guys will use people to sacrifice, and so because they know the ATF, FBI is not enough. They want to be able to get the active military in there to do that. They already purged the military of all conservatives. They already purged and they did it
about to purge them of all men.
Yeah, they're going to purge
things going on.
Yeah, but
I mean, they're males, but they're not men.
Yeah, boy. I know what you're saying.
I have to talk this way, Omar.
Yeah, I know.
Twitch. Yeah. I don't want to be censored.
So then now you're looking at military's been purged. They also, and it's all over the sheep's milk. So that's how they're purging them. And so now they were using the National Guard to fight with the readiness forces. All the National Guard units who didn't want to take the sheep's milk had been sent off of active duty readiness. They're not using them no more. Our military is down by at least 10,000 soldiers. So the readiness is not there. And now they're bucking up trying to talk about they want to fight China and stuff. It's virtually impossible. And so you looking at the soldiers that we have today will comply and go against an illegal order. You already probably see these guys because if they're in there and they already complied to what the sheep's milk is all about, they will comply to any other order that's been given. So when it comes down to them, fighting against American people, that's something I always had an issue with. And I was placed in that situation at one time, and I didn't comply to the fullest. But I can fight against a foreign entity, but when you tell these people to fight against your own people, and they are willingly are going to do it, it's a whole different ballgame. So, and it takes a small-minded individual to do that, not a very intelligent person. So they're weeding those people out, and they already got that stage set. So that's what you got to look at. Now, the problem comes in, each state has their own military. They have their own National Guard, they have their own reserves, and they have also another military force that's behind all of them. So there's at least maybe two divisions per state. And the last one is the citizens of the state that are actually to be the ones who will be doing the fighting. So they don't want to go against each state. They want people to comply. And so they haven't figured out how they're going to get people to comply. The only way they can get you to comply is go after people individually. And that's what they're doing with the rare triggers so far. We got some questions here. Go ahead.
No, it's amazing to me in reference to what you just said, because since the first visit by the Secretary of the House to Taiwan, there have been 3 others since then, all Americans visiting Taiwan as though they were a sovereign nation. I don't know if they are or not, but it's all upsetting China. And you just mentioned that, made me think of that. And that's what people have to put in perspective. Are you willing to send your loved ones, or you go yourself to go to fight for the Taiwanese people?
Yeah, and that's a no-winning. That's a no-winning war.
After you have your own government, your own politicians agitating them. The Chinese already said they don't appreciate that. So why keep poking that bear?
Before I read this off, this question. Every war game that's been played with China, we have lost.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one.
That, what's it called? A Marvel Matrix with a Doctor Strange. There's 5 million different times, and they only won one time.
Right. It's the only way nobody wins if you go to nuclear strike. So that's what we'll come down to. China over the last 11 years has the biggest navy that we ever seen. Our navy is dwarfed compared to theirs. Mm-hmm. They have a submarine killing missile, and not a submarine, but an aircraft carrier killing missile. And so they are itching to use this baby. So I don't, if the United States go toe to toe with them, hey, get prepared. It's going to nuclear, because that's the only way we're going to win this thing with them. And then we got another front that's going to come from the other side. We got Russia we got to deal with. China's already helping Russia in the Ukraine thing. And and then you got the little pissant country, and North Korea is going to step up. So you looking at, it's a no-win situation. Either way it go,
we got Canada.
Either you hope for HR 1808, or you hope for a nuclear winter. And I don't want to live through either one. So, all right. One thing that could be impacted if it comes to that point.
If it comes to that point, is for the sheriffs to deputize all who are willing in their county, all across the nation, but don't count on that.
Oh, no, you can't count on that, because it happened in certain areas when BLM went to burn down cities. Some of the sheriffs got the local people and deputized them and put deputies with them and with radios, and they did they held off the BLM people and made them go back different directions. There was some stories that come out. I'm gonna look for that story. If I can find it, I'll pull it up on one of our shows and show you guys. Let's see what's some of the other questions here.
Definitely the next one is coming up. This one right here. Beware the census people. They are training with firearms and military tactics too. All the acronyms: IRS, DNR, census, CDC, all of them. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And you think about it, if you go I forgot how to do it. There's a way that you can look up ammunition sales,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see that these guys are buying tons of ammo. They've done it before, like around 2014, somewhere in
Mm-hmm.
that area. They bought up millions of rounds for agencies that, like 6% of the total force of say 3,000 uh, sworn people have firearms, and they needed millions of ammunition. Even in 1999, when we all thought the world was about to come to an end in 2000,
Yeah.
and nothing was going to work again,
Right.
same thing.
Yeah.
All
Y2K.
the little places, yeah, that one, Y2K. All the little acronym agencies had hundreds of thousands of rounds needed. Why?
Right.
Why?
Right.
Because they didn't want us to have it.
Yeah.
So
And
if
I went out and
if you had
bought my share.
exactly, if you had a procurement agent, he would sign in and tell somebody he needed
Yeah.
400,000 rounds, and that was just enough to buy it up off the streets or get it out of what's the one over in Lakewood,
Mm-hmm.
the Armory where it makes the 5.56 to get all
Yeah.
that stuff. Lakewood,
Yeah.
Lake,
Yeah.
Lake
Yeah.
City,
Lakewood.
Lake City,
Lake City.
Lake City.
Armory.
Yep,
Yeah.
is that one.
So y'all already
You're ready to
started.
start winning across the nation. The map is looking pretty red, my friends, with a sprinkle of blue. Hopefully,
Yes. We got to keep it that
definitely
way.
Yep.
Because we thought Georgia would never do the
Never.
way it is right now, and somehow or another they rigged it where they got these clowns here in this state, But we're gonna change
look at
that.
the last one, man.
Okay, hold on. Okay, all right.
And I'll answer.
Yeah. Well, hold on. The census people. Yeah,
Yes.
really. Yeah, the
Yep.
census. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, for
Not
sure.
everyone, not the door-to-door people, but
Right.
they do have people on there that are being trained.
Mm-hmm.
This
And
one
we
is
got
a
a
good
thumbs up. Okay, where
Mhm.
is that? Right here. All right, local dog catcher is actually trained now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, hold on. Did I not put it up? Oh,
Yep.
there it is. Okay.
And he probably trained in surveillance as well.
Right. Pepper spray,
I was having a
dog
conversation
treats.
earlier with a family member, and I was explaining to him that the difference between our country and other countries, in that in certain parts of China, you have people, and even Russia, will complain and talk about their neighbor. So
Yeah. They
if we're
snitch on 'em.
driving down the road and somebody doesn't use a signal and they cross over, it's something as simple as that. As a neighbor doing something in their backyard that maybe they don't have a permit to do, that they call on these people. And that's
Mhm.
what we're going to see in the future. You can see it right now. There's so many people that are brainwashed to believe that guns are bad that they will call if they
Yeah.
saw you in your backyard cleaning guns.
Right.
Just simply cleaning guns. That means disassembling and running a board brush through it, or whatever the hell way you clean your gun. Your neighbor will call on you to complain, to say that you have a gun in your possession.
Mm-hmm. And
what's
that
gonna
gun's
come
gonna
to.
jump up, grow legs, and
Mhm.
start shooting everybody.
Yep.
So yeah, and now the police gonna come out to your house, want to ID you, identify you, and
Yep.
put you on the
But
books.
look at this. That gives them the opportunity to do all of what you just said.
Right.
If somebody calls and they are threatened, you didn't do nothing to them. You didn't even see them. You could be
Right.
sitting in your backyard on a deck, where your backyard's sitting up, and just like you said, a red flag. And I'm cleaning my guns, not talking to anybody. I may have some iced tea.
But they
sipping on
felt
tea and cleaning
they
some
felt
guns.
threatened because
That's
you
all
was
that
doing
matters.
that, and that's all
That's
that
right.
matters. Yeah. And
See,
then
look, I know
yes.
Samurai man, you keep
Oh,
coming
hold
by
on, let me-
Samurai Jitsu. You keep
me,
coming through. Same, all you
yeah.
guys, man. We appreciate y'all, but
they said the
Samurai
ATF
Jitsu
has a
always
snitch
has a
app
few
now.
extras.
What? They have a
Yep.
snitch app.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
I'm sure
Wow.
you can anonymously
Right.
render some information to somebody, and then all of a sudden they'll investigate it just to get back on it. See,
Right.
and,
Yeah.
and I know Invisible Hands, and I know he keeps up on a lot of stuff. He's got
Yeah.
his finger on the pulse of a lot of different arms.
Right.
So and
Okay.
said
Yeah, he heard about it. Okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So yeah, you got to be careful who you talk to, who what's going on. And this is how I do it. Everybody I just ask them who you vote for in the last election. Then I act like I voted for the other guy. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And see what they're gonna say. And
Right.
then if they say and they come out some derogatory about the other guy that you supported, then you're like, oh, there's no need to go any farther.
Did you
You know
learn
what I'm
that
saying?
tactic in double agent school? Because that's
Yes.
a classic double agent move.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. I used to put a couple of MFs on the end of it
Right.
though.
And sometimes back when they first started at school, they used to say Heil, somebody's name. Heil. And then they say
Right.
the guy's
Oh
name.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
all you
yeah,
got to do
yeah.
is swear allegiance and they start talking to you.
Right.
Oh, very good, brother.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So he said he saw
Yep.
a video
He
about the
sort of
snitch
it.
app
Yep.
today.
I have to look
Okay.
for it.
Yeah, I got to check
But
that out.
I don't put it past them because it's no different than 911 when
Mhm.
emergency services went 911 enhanced and allowed you to call and not leave your name or anything like that, and their numbers went up. You know, they were saying that they were trying to help increase quality of life in certain neighborhoods, but
Oh,
people were snitching on each other. That's all it was.
okay. So that's now everybody listening. If you got a gun, cops come to your house or they come to you, don't freak out. Don't get angry. Comply to everything they wanted you to do. Only thing they can do is take you to jail. So what? Go to jail, get back out. Not a big deal, right? And but just make sure what you're carrying is illegal. Your serial number is straight. Okay. Don't give them no cause to do anything to you that they don't need to do. All right. And so if they come there and say, hey, did this disarm you, whatever, let them do it, brother. It's not, because you're not breaking the law at this point.
And live to
So
fight another day.
leave to fight another day. So don't cop an attitude, don't cop anything, don't just that's not the fight yet. You know what I'm saying? So just go along with it. Most of the cops understand, if you talk to them right, and there's no need to escalate it. Just want to put
Dude,
that out.
I just looked it up.
I think it's called Reported.
I
Yeah.
just looked it up. It's an anonymous and confidential reporting app that is all about helping people make the world a better place to live, work, and play by sharing important information discreetly and confidentially. Share comments, concerns, or suggestions along with pictures and video directly with organizations, quote unquote, and companies in a way that's simple, anonymous, and non confrontational. Our proprietary geo-matching technology helps you find the organization you wish to communicate with. Applications include school safety, public safety, law enforcement, employee hotlines, consumer engagement, campus security, and many more. That's
So
scary, bro.
that means even your conversations. So be
Yes.
careful around who you have your conversations with. Because if you guys are talking about guns and the Second Amendment and you use the wrong words and
You
they
could
feel
be deemed
threatened,
a terrorist too.
right? And then they're gonna try to throw you under the red flag law
Like
in
the
certain
special
states.
forces guy just recently. I think it was 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago. Special
they
forces
just
guy who's actually been on a number of campaigns and deployments, and they labeled him as a terrorist. And I think
Right.
he was put on a no-fly list.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
he
that's
is.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Unbelievable, man.
I think it's funny, but
Mhm.
hey, that's what they get. But I think it's funny because it woke him up.
Right.
It woke him up, and that's what it took for him to wake up. And a lot of these guys are already woke. But
But
he was.
he was already woke. That's the reason why he got put on it.
Go ahead,
He-
Omar.
Yep.
No, it was just Al's face when he just y'all back and forth.
Oh,
But I mean, that was something. That was comical to me.
okay.
Definitely a butthurt society.
Yeah, it is a butthurt society, and but that butthurt society is there to hurt us.
They need
And,
a little cocoa butter. Just rub it on it.
Yeah, but yeah, well, you catch me in the range, I really tell you how I feel about this butthurt society. But I can't say what I want to say here, but I go on a tyrant on them cats. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing
And,
very well. I want you to know.
Oh yeah, if I had hair, I'll be pulling it out right now. I think that's why I'm bald headed. I'm pulling it all out.
Well, speaking about head, I just want everybody to know before we sign off that there's proof that I'm an angel, and it's based upon this halo that I'm wearing for this
the green
entire
halo.
show.
See, no,
Green halo.
that's not a green halo. That's what that is. That's his green afro wig.
Oh Lord.
That's
I
what it
couldn't
is.
shake it.
See,
And
he
what
got he got his
this
green afro wig.
technology-
It's not on the front of his head, but it's riding on the back. Now, you guys, I
Exactly.
know you guys seen some women like that with the wigs on crooked and they wear them on the back of the head. That's what he got his.
The SS had the
SS.
same thing in Nazi Germany. Now we have the ATF snitch app. History repeating itself. I agree. The SS took all information. They didn't turn anything down. They didn't. They looked it up. Everything. I don't care if you're out in the country, if you were in the city, if you told somebody that someone else was living in this storage area, they checked everything out, and that's what this app would do.
And he said, remember, the original gun control was aimed at the black population. And
Absolutely.
it still is, because when they go to do the buyback programs, have you guys been reading your local newspaper? They're still doing buyback programs. And these local black churches be getting these people to turn in their guns and get that, $50 Amazon card.
All right.
Check this out. On the last.
Yeah, go ahead. I got one after you. Go ahead.
Okay. On the last buyback, they told people do not turn in any ghost guns. So you can't make your own guns and turn them in now. and
because that guy got about 30.
He got,
I think $3,000,
$3,000 some odd dollars. Yeah. So now they don't want that anymore. You got to turn in real firearms. So
but he took advantage of the system. So what Samurai Jitsu just said, remember the original gun control aimed at black population. Check this out. You want to, let's flip it and make it even smarter. The two of us, Omar, he's in the middle. And I think WKG, he may remember this. We were paying $6.75 for Tula ammo, right? That was the cheap steel cased ammo. That was 9mm for 50 rounds. On average, brass ammo was $9, maybe $9.99 for 50. If you can find it for cheaper, you bought it. Now, on average, it's $19 cheap, more expensive. $19 for a box of 50 on average. No matter if you bought it online and you pay shipping and handling, it still comes out. People tell me, I already paid $13 for mine. Okay, what about shipping and handling? Oh, it was only $20. Okay, so do the math. So you're talking about $15 per box, right? That is the same thing that's happening now. Because think about this: who are the newcomers to the Second Amendment? We've been around forever. Not us, but as a group of people, more black people have bought firearms in the last 2 years than ever before. Freaking ammo is outrageous. Right?
And they're still buying it.
And they're still buying it because they don't know any better, right? And new people, they just don't know. And it's no fault of their own. They get in and they say, man, I always heard firearms are expensive, so they keep paying for it. And we can't get them to stop paying for it. Because if you stop paying for it, then the manufacturers and the middleman, who's the really sneaky bastard,
they'll drop the price.
Then they can bring the price down. But they won't bring the price down when new people get in and they just feel like they got to make a sacrifice somewhere to buy ammunition to practice. And they just don't know. And that's another piece of information that we have to educate folks on, because you're talking about 2019 is the last time I bought ammunition at a real price.
$6 a box. Yeah.
Yep. The special sauce came over from China, and then all of a sudden, after that, it went straight up the roof.
Right.
We're looking at $19, and if you go to a firing range to shoot, it's on average about $25 a box for 50. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Man, I'd rather go steal a bowling ball for that.
Yeah, you can put a rope on it, swing it.
Damn, man,
that's
wrong.
Turn your guns and get 10 pieces of lemon pepper wings. And black people love some chicken.
That was
oh, damn.
Oh my God, man!
The William Dabbs experience. That's wrong, man.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a good one though. That is a good one.
I'm laughing out of just great humor.
Right?
That's wrong.
Maybe they can get a fish sandwich or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
People still eat fish.
I do. I haven't had a fish sandwich though, but I am craving fish and chips.
Well, dude, what you just said, Daryl, is the same thing. Ghost guns are the problem, but they took them and had no knowledge. Go read the article.
Yes,
it's a guy that, and I think he made like 50 ghost guns, and he got about 3,000. So whatever.
Yeah, he made them out 2x4, and nails and all types of stuff. Yeah,
and some of them weren't real guns; they were painted.
Yeah. Just to make them look like guns.
Yep.
So it was pretty funny.
Exactly.
very
But
funny.
that's the thing, you know, and think about it. That's the government.
Or gift
Oh,
certificate to
damn.
Popeyes.
No. Don't you join in with this
Oh,
invisible
Nobody
hand.
can
Don't
say
join in with
nobody.
this.
Nobody can say the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Remember, it's Church Chicken. They still around.
Yeah, they're still around, but Popeyes has surpassed Kentucky
It
Fried
is?
Chicken.
Oh, okay. That just tell you right there. I don't eat
ask me
chicken.
how I know.
So
Don't
I don't
even
eat
ask me
chicken.
how.
He eat chicken. I tell you that right now.
Yeah, you damn real. I eat chicken. Damn real, but I don't know, man. We could talk about that another time, but I'm just
Right.
I'm just telling you, boy, that
Right.
y'all went out of pocket on that one, man.
Yeah,
And
we
that's
all
the
fall
sad
for it.
thing. And that's the thing when you start talking to people, and I've told a number of people about that $9 a box and $6.75. I was paying $6.75 for a steel case ammo because I'm not like the rest of y'all where you got my gun on can do brass. If my guns can't shoot steel, it don't deserve brass. So with that being said, I try to educate folks and tell them, hey man, this slow down with all this. The guy came in and he bought 1,000 rounds of $19 a box ammo. Oh, are you crazy? But that's all he knew. He don't know any better, so he had to buy it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow, you don't shop around. You got to be a consumer and start buying from the people who are giving free shipping and charging $14 a box.
Yeah.
Like, hell. Omar and I just found a thing we're gonna run on, and it's still overpriced for steel case ammunition that we need. It's still overpriced, but it's a better price because we consumed it. We've been watching and looking, and when we found a decent price, it's gonna it'll kick half his ass and kick half my ass instead of both one of us getting our asses totally kicked.
Right. And meanwhile, I'm shooting 22s.
Well,
Oh Lord.
I'm not shooting the big stuff. I shoot 22s and save the big stuff for when I got to break
you
my
waiting for the
glass.
party. You're not even gonna get an invite to the party. The party gonna happen. You'll be asleep. You know how hard you sleep. You'll be asleep and wake up and be like, oh, then you'll be doing this to the camera. Next time you come on, you didn't wake me up. You didn't call me. Why nobody call me? You'll be probably doing left and right hand chop. Nobody called me.
They better call me for the damn party because I'm a party crasher. You know what I'm saying? They better call me. Let's see, February 2020, $6.99 for Winchester service grade 9mm, 50 rounds box, no limits then. Yep,
Man.
I remember because I bought a whole bunch of that stuff.
That's what I'm telling you. On average, hitting that $9 price was on average. That's like if you just go to a gun store and whether it's a range or Army Navy or a strictly gun store, and you go in there, you would find $9 on average for 9mm. After 2020, it went bananas, and we're up to 19. There was a guy, Mike. I don't know if Mike still is listening. He had a client one time, and I was in the bay next to him, and I heard Mike kind of like let out like a loud noise, and I went over and looked, and the dude paid $50
a box
for 50 rounds.
Damn, $1 a round.
And this was in the heart of the pandemic. And
wow,
said,
they saw him coming.
And he said, I had no choice because he wanted to shoot. And that's when I started to say, you know what? I understand. Because at one point I was really a jerk. I can't use the word I like to call myself.
Yeah.
I was really a jerk about it. And I was on social media telling people blah, 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 blah. And then after hearing that, and the guy was honest, and I said, wow, man, he just doesn't know. He just didn't know that. Oh, thanks, Bobby.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby, for watching the show.
Yep, tune in next time, bro. And we're going to get back to training and talking about
tactics and
firearms and tactics and gear and all that stuff. That's our bailiwick. We're just right now,
we got to survive this first.
Yeah, politics.
If we don't survive this politics first, and it won't be no show because I have to disappear. I'm just telling you that right now. Yeah.
I mean, there'll be all those pictures will be taken down and
my social media be destroyed.
I detest guns.
Right. Yeah.
I'll be just short of wearing a rainbow shirt.
No, I ain't doing all that.
Yep.
I know you won't, but I'm just saying what I would do.
I ain't doing all. Yeah,
I'm gonna be right.
You go ahead and wear that rainbow shirt. You might as well
have
you grease your face up while you're doing it. You know?
big sunflower, yellow sunflower.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not doing all that, dog.
I'm blending, bro. You don't know how to blend. That's why. That's why you
No,
always stand in the party on the other side by
I've
yourself.
never blended. Then
I know.
was
I
in
said
the
you
army.
at the
I was
party
a
on the other
renegade.
side.
I fought against the system. I fought against everything that was in the army from post to post to post. I had a rough military time. But hell, they didn't like me. They didn't like me at all. You know what I'm saying?
See, Samurai Jutsu went further than you. He's down to shooting airsoft BBs. See, you and your 22s. Nah, leave that
Oh, okay,
rainbow
here we
stuff
go,
alone.
right here. Yeah, he's down to
that was a
shooting airsoft
joke, ID.
BBs.
Nope,
Gas
don't approach me.
Yeah,
I
right.
still have a knife.
Right. Yeah. You might get approached out from behind.
Hey, I've been working on my rear guard, bro. So I'll be fine.
Gotta keep your
I'll be
eyes
fine.
open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Line up against the wall.
Yeah, so that's all the information we got to put out there for you guys. We want to say thank you guys for coming on the show.
Always,
This has been the show has been getting better and better and a lot more funner, and you guys have been a lot more engagement. That's what this show is for. This show is for you guys. So that's why I take everything you guys say, I put it on air because I want the people to see that we got Second Amendment people out here commenting and talking about agreeing with what we're saying and willing to share what we have to share. And that's all we ask. Just share it. Just share it. Get your friends and family
Even if just
involved.
one share, guys. Seriously, it
Right.
helps. I wasn't a believer in that until we started doing this stuff and I did the research. And one share goes a long way. One like goes a long way. Subscribe goes a much further way.
Right.
Much further way. And even if you don't like what we have to say, you see, we posted. We may talk a bunch of stuff right after it, and we're going to defend our position. But at the same time, we'll post a comment. You know, within reason. We had a few early on nut jobs, but you know, we dealt with them too. But if we put up,
I'll need a grease gun. I've shot a grease gun actually.
I think he was basing it upon the grease you were talking about.
Yeah, I know what type of gun you're talking about. I'm just trying to derail it.
Oh, now you want to be my friend? Okay. Thank you. I think I should say thank you.
Okay, William Dabbs is my dude. Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, appreciate you.
Thank you, William Dabbs. Definitely.
Thank you for getting people out here, man. And just share it, pay attention. See us next time next week. You got anything else you want to say?
Man, again, all thanks to this guy right here, man. He did a good job. He blew my damn opening. It was like a 40-yard touchdown pass, and he just got fumble fingers. But
yeah, they changed the software, and I didn't bother to familiarize myself with it. You know, I'm just lazy sometimes. You know, we're gonna keep going. You guys got your comments out. Keep them going right now, so I can put them on the air. You know.
Okay, cool.
Oh, as your dude also. Okay, cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, and so. With that, we'll see you guys in the range. All right. See you next week. All right. Thanks for coming out.